that says here that Bindu Moola Sarirani. Now, this Sarira, the physical bodies that we have, this physical body, now what is the source of physical body? So he uses Bindu. Bindu means here, actually we have got a lot of things to discuss here. I'll just try to gloss over as quick as possible. Actually, Bindu is being highlighted here called Virium, or you can say semen. So he says, semen is the source of physical body. And why? Because this is a very nice point, is being taught in different contexts, in different places. Like, to get one drop of semen, like from first comes food, khadya. From khadya, it becomes rasa, juice. From rasa comes rakta, blood. From rakta comes meda, or mamsa, mamsa of the flesh. Then after the flesh comes asti, bone. From bone comes majja, bone marrow. Then from bone marrow comes area, the semen. That is the development. And because why it is being highlighted in different contexts in different places? Because as I noticed, as the days increases, the people will become old, or you can say those who loses their semen unnecessarily, you can see that they will not be energetic. So when people, they say that, especially I notice after marriage, people, especially after marriage, they become old, they don't feel like doing anything else. Okay, like usual way of working. The one who is not married before marriage will be very attentive, this is to be done, that is to be done. Lot of things, lot of planning will be there. Lot of energy, like bubbling with energy. Okay, ups and downs is different thing, but there is something. But after marriage, you can say, okay, everything is okay. It's not that everything is okay because of the marriage maturity. No. Because of the less of semen are being wasted, whatever you can say. Now the person doesn't have that much enthusiasm. This is my way of looking at it. I may be wrong. This is how I look at the situation here. However, what is being highlighted over here? We have to look at that. Now he says, Bindu Moola Sarirani. The Sarira, this physical body, now is coming from the source of this physical body, semen. And if you look at it, Shira Tatra Pratishtita, and there is a network of veins in these bodies. Now, Bhavayanti Sarirani Avada Taramastaka. Now here the yogi is being in Khechari Mudra, Bhavayanti. So being in Khechari Mudra, doing Khechari Mudra, the yogi, the person, what does? Visualize the whole body from top to toe. And when the person visualizes the whole body top to toe, then what happens? In the process, whole body gets nourished, becomes more strong. So this is called visualization part comes. Then it is beautifully again. Khechariya Muditam Ena Vivaram Lambikordhataha Natasya Shiyate Binduhu Kaminya Lingitasya Cha. Okay, fine. If the person does, what will happen? What will happen to that Bindu especially? He says, look, Khechariya Muditam Ena Vivaram Lambikordhataha means by licking Khechari Mudra. And especially the yogi covers the hole situated above the thyroid cartilage. Okay, if the person is able to do that much, little advanced stage, then we start with very beginning. But it has to go much, much higher. And if the person is really able to do it and covers the hole situated above the thyroid cartilage, what happens to that person? No drops of that yogi's semen will be wasted or is wasted. Even Kaminya Ligitasya, even embraced by a beautiful woman. Both we can take it. Whether a man or woman. That what happens that skalana, we use the word skalana, unnecessarily that decreasing prana will not take place. That is being highlighted over here. Then he says, Yavat bindu stito dehi, tavat mrityubhayam kutah, yavat vaddha nabho mudra, tavat bindu na gacchati. Such a beautiful again says, as long as semen is intact, not wasted in this body, that long there is no fear of death. And again, as long as the Khechari Mudra is being practiced, so long no drop of semen leaves the body. That means indirectly. Khechari Mudra is something makes the person to be strong, to feel strong, and allows the person not to be affected by the fear of the death. And actually keeping this in my mind, I use this word with these words. Like you can see the youngsters, anything happens at the age of 20, 30, no doubt disturbance comes, but it keeps fluctuating. After some time, you become okay. But the same type of disturbance when it comes after 40s, person is not able to withstand. So one may say because of the age, but what I understand, my way of looking at it, is because of the mainly semen. If that is being wasted, if the energy, the prana, I'm using the word technically taking towards the prana, if that is being wasted, definitely that person cannot be that much active. However, he says beautifully, Jwalitopi yato binduha, Sampratascha hudashanam, Brajati urdham tadha saktya, Niruddho yoni mudraya. Now he introduces something called yoni mudra. Now he says that although generally a melted drop of semen reaches to the Vaishwanara, fire for the destruction, because generally it will happen. This is something natural. But he says, again, you can take that off. Even though naturally, it's nice, beautiful, they say, like, whatever is naturally, it will happen. You cannot stop it. For example, just I am trying to give you examples. If the person does not sleep properly, late, late night sleep, or gets exposed to the sunlight too much, traveling in the public, or moving around with the low energy people, where Apan is more active. All these things actually, you can say, aggravate or pushes or makes active one's own Apanavana. And in the process, there is a possibility that the person semen will melt or will come down automatically. These are the symptoms I am trying to say. But he says, look, even if it comes down naturally, which generally happens, if something is obvious, common thing, still that can be taken upward. How? He says that for that one need to do what? Niruddha yoni mudraya. It can be taken with the help of yoni mudra. Now he says, let us look at what is all about it. Then he talks about, okay, generally, he talks about the types of semen. How is it all about it? He says, look, Sa puna dividha bindu pandaro loitastatha pandaram shuklam iti ahu lohitakhyam maharaja. See that the semen is two kinds. One is a pandara, pandara means white color, and other one lohita. Lohita is called red. And then he says that the white semen called pandara and the red semen is named called as Maharaja gives the name to names. Then again he says that beautifully we have looked at as he talks Sindura Brata Sankasam Ravisthana Sthitam Raja Sasistana Sthitam Shuklam Tayu Aikam Sudurlabham. Now here after talking about the Sinan, let me talks about the Rajas aspect of it. What he talks is now the Rajas that which existed sorry, Sindura Brata Sankasam. Let me look at 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. And let me look at. Yeah, good. Now it talks about the Rajas. That's what I was looking at this point. After talking about the semen, the you can say the main part, then comes to the woman, which talks about the Rajas means the menstrual discharge. About that he talks. What is that Rajas? He says that Sindura Brata Sankasam Ravistana Sthitam Raja. Raja. This is the menstrual discharge. What happens that is, he says, like it's like that is vermilion in color, exists in the place of sun. That sun in the sun, like in the morning sun, that sort of thing. How red, how beautiful. And the white in color exists in the place of the moon. It is rare to have both together, both red and white. And he says that Bindur Brahma Rajah Saptir Bindu Indu Rajo Ravihi Ubhayo Sangamad Eva Prapyate Paramam Padam. Now he says, look, the Bindu is called Brahma and the Rajas, the woman's side, is called Sakti. Sometimes Bindu is called moon and the Rajas is called the sun. Now the happiness is achieved by the union of both Bindu and Rajas. Then he says, nothing much, just we'll go ahead. He says, Vayuna Sakti Chalena Preritam Cha Yatharaja Yati Binduhu Sadekatum Bhave Dibya Vatu Stada. Look at as a dust lying at different places, tries with the forceful wind and gets gathered at one place. Similarly, by pranayama, the bindu gets united with Rajas, and in the process of the body of yogi becomes celestial. Actually, little bit confusing. But he tries to again highlight the aspect of it. That he says that Vaivuna Sakticharina Preritam Cha Yatha Raja Yadi Bindu Sadekatam Bhavet Vidya Vapustada. When you look at any dust, because it is being scattered everywhere, and no doubt in it, once again it starts like big wind comes, a forceful wind comes. Definitely you will see the place will be cleaned. But in one corner or somewhere it will again get stored. Now he says that this by pranayama, even though the bindu whatever is there all over the body scattered, but by the pranayama it gets united, it becomes a host. That's why after a pranayama what will happen is you can see the change of the person. The prana of the person gets completely changed. That's especially if you look at Nadi Shuddhi, it's a very good thing to talk. Before Nadi Shuddhi and after Nadi Shuddhi, you can see the difference of the person, physical appearance, it changes. just a few rounds of pranayama, because I have observed this thing, especially when people they come for the camp. Sometimes I do ask them, like before coming to the camp, ask them to look at their face, how they look. In fact, sometimes it's better to take some photos. And if you can compare the photos, before camp the photos, and after 1 week of the camp pranayama, and you can take the photos, you will see there is a big difference in their physical appearance. Automatically it will reflect, no doubt in it. So that is what he is highlighting this aspect a little bit differently. That now this in the process, if a person does pranayama, what happens? The body of yogi becomes celestial. Divya Vapu means there is some type of radiance, some type of you can say glamour or you can say beauty that happens automatically. Then he says, look, not only that, Shukla Chandrena Sanyukta Rajas Surya Samanvitam Tayoho Samarasikatum Yojanati Sa Yogavi. The white bindu is associated with the moon and the Rajas associated with the sun. He who knows the unification of both is the knower of yoga. That means what happens is the most important thing is he is going to bring this sun and moon concept, not to talk about ladies and gents, that's not the purpose. He is trying to bring for the Nadi Suddhi. Preparing that bringing all this sun, moon, giving ladies and gents example, this is just namesake. That is not the purpose of the Shastra at all. Again, it will bring okay, what is that moon and sun, not that outside physically, what is that inside. So it all will be talking about the Nadi Suddhi. When you do Nadi Suddhi, that we said in the beginning, that joining together in the previous verses we discussed, like for example, when the Bindu gets united with Rajas and automatically person body becomes very light or looks like Divya Vapu means celestial body. And before also it said that the happiness is achieved by the union of both Bindus and Rajas. Again he introduces Bindu through Bindus and Rajas, says that Nadi, with that sun and moon. Then he comes, okay, fine. All these things why I introduced, not that is another purpose. And again, last verse we saw, said what? That person is a knower of yoga who Shukla Chandrena Sanyuktam Raja Surya Samanvitam. The white bindu is associated with the moon and the Rajas associated with the sun. He who knows this thing or unification of the both is called a knower of yogi in true sense. How is it possible? Look, he introduces a beautiful concept, the Nadi Sodhanam. Sodhanam Nadi Jalasya Chalanam Chandra Suryayoho Rasanam Shoshanam Chaiva Mahamudra Abhidhiyade. Now says the posture which purifies the nadis, that's called Nadi Sodhanam. The posture that which purifies the nadis is called Nadi Sodhanam. And what happens through that? Regulates the sun nadis and moon nadis and destroys the defects of the wind and bile etc. existing in the body is called Mahamudra. So sometimes this Nadi Suddhi is called also as a Mahamudra. The other name of Nadi Suddhi we can say it is called Mahamudra. Then okay, what is about all about it in Mahamudra? What it happens? Because Nadi Suddhi generally people who are highlight on this thing, but there is some other things involved in that. Two things together is called Mahamudra. We'll be discussing that. Okay, what is all about it? How to go about it? We discuss what is that Mahamudra concept. It says that Bakshonyastha Hanuhu Prapidya Suchiram Yonicha Bamangina Hastabhyam Anudharayan Prasaritam Padam Tatha Dakshinam Apuriya Swasanena Ukshi Yugalam Badva Sanei Reche Seyam Vyadhi Vinashini Samuhati Mudra Drudam Patyat. First thing he says that now Bamangina okay. Bakshwanyanya Hanuhos Prapidya Suchiram Yunicha Bamangina, by the help of Bamangina. Now what has to be done is Prapidia. Okay, good. Say that. Now, first having praised the source of vital power with the help of left heel and placing the chin just on the upper portion of the chest called Jalandhara Bandha. Now what he does again says that holding the stretched right foot in the hand, okay, right foot in both the hands. Hastabhyam udharam, that's what he says. Okay, I hope you understand because I think we have to show the Mahamudra posture. So we have to put one Mahamudra posture, then it will be much more convenient, or else it will not be understood how the Mahamudra is being practiced. Okay. Then he says that look, now after doing this thing, inhaling through the left nostril. After that, okay, not only that, inhaling through the left nostril, filling both the left and right, the complete stomach, or you can say belly pit, and retaining the air, one should exhale through right nostril. That too slowly. This Mahamudra destroys all mental agonies and physical disease. Sayam Vyadhi Sayam, this particular Mahamudra, Vyadhi Vinashini Samuhati Mudra Nrunam Kathyate, and very interesting this disease and talked by the people, all the people they will talk. Now when this Mahamudra is being highlighted, I hope you understand the concept. Now the left heel is taken as close as possible to the perineum, and Jalandhara Bandha is being done. Right leg is stretched with both the hands. Now the right foot is being held, and being in this posture, now the person first inhales through left, retains as long as possible, and exhales through right. What a beautiful thing. In fact, then you may ask the question, look, both the hands are engaged. How to do this inhalation exhalation? Through the left and right. Yes, this is the trick. Actually, before doing this Nadisvan, that's called real Nadisvan, whatever. Before that, this Nadis should do in 2 weeks. In the beginning stages, we do teach with the hand. Later on, the person should be capable of doing inhalation exhalation without using the hand. You can pull to left, you can hold, and again you can exhale to right without using your hand. That is what the trick one should follow it later on. Because if these things are not being practiced or mastered, the person cannot do Mahamudra. Then what will happen? The one hand. So that discontinuity. So that's why before that, first we do teach this thing. That's why whatever is being taught in the beginning stages, to help or to master the bigger things later on. However, it says beautifully. After this thing, it says that Chandran Sena Samabhyasya Suryasano Abhyasait Punah Yatulya tu Bhavet Sankhya Tato Mudra Vishajayat. After practicing the above said, whatever we have discussed on this Mahamudra Pranayam, now inhaling through the left nostril and later on exhaling through right nostril. Of course, retention is involved always. Not that just inhale and exhale. No, always retention goes along with that. One should practice other side, other pranayam, inhaling through right nostril and retaining, and exhaling through left nostril. And the practice of both these pranayam, the number of the inhalation and exhalation becomes equal. and then only one comes out of Mahamudra. Don't do one side. What is the purpose of saying this here? Is like don't do one round through night, right? Or through left start, because generally first you have to start with the left. Start with the left, return and exhale to left and come out to wrong. Then again you have to do inhale through right, return, exhale through left. That becomes one round what we say. So unless you need to do equal numbers. If you are not doing equal numbers, then some complication will take place. However, he says beautifully, let us look at what happens. What happens if who practices? Talk about Mahamudra very nicely said. Nahi pathyam apatyava rasaha sarvepi nirasaha adhibhuktam visham ghoram yusam iva jiriyate. What a beautiful point he says. He who practices this Mahamudra, for him what happens? There is no need of being careful with reference to any food. Means wholesome, because whether it is poison, whether because many people they say food poison, this, that, all this thing. Nothing. Because with reference to pathyam or apathyam, means whether it is really good food or not, whether it is hygienic or not, I would rather use the word, okay. I'll have this, what do you call, food poison, this poison, that poison, you know, a lot of complications. So with reference, the person need not be careful. Because the person's fire is so strong. Only weak fire, please understand one thing, if your fire is weak, whatever you eat, that creates problem. If the fire is strong, will you feel anything? Like a child, they say child doesn't get much affected, doesn't get caught by much disease. Because child fire, digestive fire is so strong, anything person eats, that's all. That's why in our day-to-day life, the moment our digestive fire becomes weak, all the disease comes. Anytime, any disease, rogam, we say very clearly the disease, the cause of the disease is our Vaishwana or Agni, digestive fire. So he says the person's digestive fire is so strong, pathyam apathyam, with reference whether it is hygienic or not hygienic, or not that you have to eat, no, I'm not talking. Then the person need not be careful if the person's digestive fire is so strong. And he says, look, not only that, most important thing is at the same time the person doesn't crave after food, unlike a child. And again, even if the practitioner of Mahamudra takes food in large quantity, generally which in turn becomes poison. Whenever we eat more, automatically what vomiting, lot of complications takes place. Those who practices Mahamudra, even if by chance you take more food, gets digested. And that becomes nectar. It never becomes poison. Adhibhuktam visham. Generally when you eat more, it becomes visham, poison. But for this case, it becomes piyusham. It becomes a nectar. That means this is the importance of Mahamudra. And he says again, Kshekrishta Gudavarta Bulma Jirna Purogamaha Tasya Rugaha Kshayam Yanti Mahamudram Tuyo Abhyasya. Now, Kshekrishta Gudavarta Bulma Jirna Purogamaha. Now, one who practices this Mahamudra. Now, there are different types of diseases. For example, Shaya, which is called Kushtaroga, diseases like leprosy, or you can say tuberculosis, Gudavarta, and a chronic constipation and indigestion. All these diseases also get destroyed by practicing this Mahamudra. And he says again, Pathiteyam Mahamudra Mahasiddhi Karin Gunam Gopaniya Prayatnena Nadeya Esya Kasyachit. Chapter the secret part he talks a little bit here and there. He says, look, knowing all these things, don't talk everybody. Look, by practicing Mahamudra, this is going to happen, that is going to happen. Don't teach it that way. Because what happens, you are like more publicizing. Because when the person has not done minimum nadisuddhi, doesn't know how to inhale to right, exhale to left or inhale to left and exhale to right without using the hand. If you try to teach Mahamudra and talk about Mahamudra, what will happen to the person? Will the person be able to do? So keeping that all these complications in mind, says, look, this Mahamudra is considered to be impart perfection to the people. This is what Mahasiddhi Karim Nudam. It gives really Siddhi, the accomplishment, what the person looks for in life. However, Gopaniya, it should be kept secret. And should not be taught to any, Nadeya, Yasya Kaschid. Don't give to whomsoever you feel like it. No. It to be taught only to the deserved people. Never teach undeserved people. That's why I used this word 2 days back. I was talking. It is better not to put the seed in a wrong place. Even though you have got the best seed, it's better not to put those seed in a wrong place than putting the best seed in the wrong place. Because if the land is not cultivated properly, not ready to receive the seed, and you put seed, the best seed, what will happen? Some plant will germinate, not that it won't germinate. But when it is germinate, what happens? It won't give the good, it will not create the good plant. Then that plant will create again lot of unwanted seeds. Then you will be spending a lot of time to take care of that land in order to put some other good seeds. Because especially in cultivation, they say very nice. It's better not to cultivate than cultivating wrong things. Because once you cultivate wrong things, it takes a long time even to clean it. It's like in with blackboard. It's better to have clean blackboard than many things are written in that. Because if many things are being written, what will happen? Again, we have to spend a lot of time to clean it. And we are not sure whether we will be able to clean or not. So also, here the knowledge is exactly like that. If the person is not ready, if the person doesn't deserve, never teach, means never teach to the curious people. Those who are curious, like a child is curious, child wants lollipop. Why you should explain what is lollipop? Don't give the talks on lollipop. Lollipop is good or bad, and this is how being created, that has been created. Child is so crazy for lollipop. If possible, if you would like, hand over the lollipop, let the child keep quiet and you keep quiet. But if the person is really interested, what is all about it, really serious, yes, it is to be taught. Then after this thing, it says will be looking little differently. Okay, all these things has been done, but how to go about it? What is to be done? Because suppose if I want to do some chanting and bring certain things in my life, because okay, this is very good thing to do, Mahamudra, all the energy is strong. But how to retain that strength, strength or the hype of the prana? How to retain? He introduces, yes, you need to bring certain things. Actually, this certain things is very unique point. You have to remember this. So look at, there is no much difference between Sankhya philosophy and Yoga philosophy. There is not much difference, but there is unique difference. Because of that reason, Sankhya is one philosophy, Yoga becomes another philosophy. And what is that unique approach? That unique point which makes two things different, we call as different philosophies. That is for Ishvara. Bringing Ishvara in life, Yoga highlights, whereas Sankhya doesn't talk about Ishvara. There is no Ishvara concept in Sankhya. So when this unique approach, Ishvara is there in Yoga, but how to go about it, what is all about it. So he brings that concept, we'll see in the next class.